There we go. So we'll go ahead and stop here and do that. Did not mean to do that. There we go. Straight off, scourge them all away. And head into the Chaos Shrine. Now remember when I said don't pay attention and there's like a whole bunch of chests we didn't get here? That's because this is the last dungeon. We've gotten everything else. If we look through here, everything else is maxed out for chests. So it's literally just the final dungeon here. And the way you access this is you go back to the central chamber. And we're going to talk to these bats. Because you notice how there's 5 bats? Remember what the people in Lufenia said. Yeah, the curse of the fiends changed us into these forms and prevented us from speaking. These are the 5 Sky Warriors. Which actually has some really interesting implications once you've played Stranger of Paradise as well. Anyways, the curse of the fiends changed us into these forms and prevented us from speaking. The light of the crystals has enabled us to speak again. We are sky people. We came to this shrine in our attempt to locate the source of the world's ruin. That was 400 years ago, so they've been trapped here as bats for 400 years. The power of the 4 fiends absorbed from the crystals was being fed into the past by the black crystal. The one disturbing the beautiful light of the crystal is the one we've been looking for all along. The true root of all evil lies just ahead. Again, I don't necessarily think they know exactly what they're talking about, but whatever. The light of the 4 we've been seeking all this time. The light will open the time portal. The portal will transport you 2,000 years into the past, to the beginning of the time loop. I don't think it's really a beginning as much as they imply it is, but... Shine the light of the 4 crystals on the black crystal in the center of the chamber. Doing so will open the time portal to this shrine as it existed 2,000 years ago. So again, keep in mind, this shrine is already in ruins, okay? So we go to the 5th and final crystal here. And shine the lights of our 4 rekindled shards. You focus the light of the 4 shining crystals, fire, earth, water, and wind, on the black crystal. The flow of time surges and space begins to warp. Just one step forward and you will travel back 2,000 years in time. So yeah, we have the 5 classical elements of, you know, water, wind, earth, fire, and spirit, or in this case, time. So that warp point will take you back out of here, but look around. This place is not ruined anymore. This place is ruined in 2,000 years. Now, it could be ruined in 2,000 years as a result of what happens when you reach the end here. Or it could be ruined because the time loop is broken. Or it could be ruined simply because it's literally 2,000 years later and this place is abandoned at some point in that time. Also, this place is way bigger now for some reason. But, I mean, it's the final dungeon. So, it is what it is. Anyways, what we want to do is there are 2 sets of stairs easily accessible to us right now. Only one is actually the path forward. So yeah, this is the last dungeon of the game, so it's also got the most powerful enemies. If I remember correctly, I went the wrong direction to begin with. If I remember correctly, it should be the stairs in the bottom right corner that we need to continue forward, because the other will just lead you to a dead end eventually. I could be wrong, though. Only time will tell, because I'm not getting up to grab one of my paper guides or look it up online. There we go. Perfect. All right, Chimera, good. Ugh. Chimeras. I think it's the body of a goat. It might be the body of a bull instead, but it's also got the wings of a bat. The tail, its tail is a snake with the snake's head, and then it's got 3 other heads of a lion, a goat, and a... Is it supposed to be a dragon? I don't remember. I don't remember what the 3rd head is supposed to be. It's a lion, a goat, and something else. But it's a creature from Greek mythology, originally. This interpretation seems to have a dragon's head. Either way. Let's deal with these black flans. There we go. Good, good, good. Alright, so this... Yes, I'm pretty sure this is the way forward. Okay, so we got to go up to the second floor here. And then from here, we go to the central room. After dealing with all these black knights. It's once we're underground that the real meat of the dungeon starts shining through. And that's when, you know, I'll start explaining why I don't think this is actually a time loop like everything, you know, every explicit text in the game is trying to tell you. And I think the Circle of Sages is wrong. I think the Luthinian Bats are wrong. I think the final villain, the final boss is wrong. I think the closing text of the game is wrong. Because I think that the people who made this game didn't really understand what time loops were. But unfortunately, it's the same in regardless of which version of the game you play. You know, the translation may be slightly different, but the main thrust of what they say is still the same. And it's still trying to say that it's this, you know, massive time loop that just repeats continually until you defeat the source of evil. But I don't think that's the case. You know, I think no matter what you do here in the past, the fiends will still start awakening 400 years before the present, with the Wind Fiend taking over the Flying Fortress and destroying the Luthinian civilization, and then the Water Fiend causing the Sunken Shrine to collapse into the sea, and for everybody in the northern civilizations to, you know, see, you know, end up in like a Dark Ages for, you know, a couple hundred years. I still think the Earth Fiend would awaken in the present, and if we hadn't interrupted and defeated the Earth Fiend, the Fire Fiend would awaken 200 years past that. I still think that would happen regardless. So here we have to face off against a Death Eye, which is a more powerful version of the Evil Eye. And is kind of a prototype for Ahriman later in the Final Fantasy franchise. Ahriman being this like one-eyed monster with wings. Alright, but here we have 2 treasure chests, a dry ether, and an elixir. In the original game, it's just extra gil, or extra gold, which you don't really need at this point in the game, unless you really need to back out and get more supplies. You know, to heal and get more supplies, but we'll be fine. Alrighty. And instead, what we need to go do is come here, where we can finally use Sarah's loot. Yeah, this is what the loot is for. You know, this is what the loot is for. It's a good thing we have it. I don't think it's impossible to miss it in, you know, in the game anymore. But in the original game, it is entirely possible to get here, not have the loot, and not understand what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to proceed. But here, we've got the loot, which takes us back down to the second floor in the center here. And we need to go up to, yeah, this corner to go back down to the ground floor. We're facing off against dragon zombies now. Alright. A whole bunch of black flans. Hopefully Scourge will take out most of them in one hit. Otherwise, I might need to interrupt this. Ooh, excuse me. To cast some fire or lightning magic. No, actually, it got rid of all but one. That is awesome. There we go. Alright, so Ugh, so close. We got a Chimera and Rios. You know, 2 Rios, which are more powerful versions of Chimeras. Yeah, that really does look like a dragon's head, doesn't it? That third head. All right, so now we're back on the ground floor. Somehow we moved from the upper left corner to the upper right corner. I have no idea why. But from here, we can actually get to the stairs that will take us down into the depths of the Chaos Shrine and onward towards the final boss of the game. Alrighty. Almost there. Gotta face off against white dragons now. But most of these monsters aren't really much of a fight anymore. They're not too much of a threat. In fact, the next couple floors, most of the monsters are like no threat at all. And you'll understand why in a second. I remember when I was afraid to run into 2 of those together. Alright, come on, Chimera. Yeah, at least we got rid of 2 of them. There we go. Bye-bye, the Chimera. Alright, now we're underground, and we've got to circle all the way around. So if you had taken the other steps from the entrance leading down, or they might have gone up, I'm not sure. But they would eventually lead you to this right here in the center, and this chamber here, which is just a dead end with like nothing in it. There's no loot or anything. And now we gotta face off against basilisks. There we go. We gotta circle all the way around though to get where we need to go. Yeah, pay attention to the types of monsters we're fighting in here. Basilisk not included. Notice how we already fought some earth elementals? I wonder what's going to show up next. More earth elementals! Okay, not quite what I was expecting, but it's fine. But yeah, you'll notice that a lot of the monsters on this floor are coming from the earth cave. And there's a reason for that. Because 2,000 years into the past, the fiends were not at the elemental altars. They were not where the crystals are. The mother crystals. In fact, 2,000 years in the past, the fiends were here in the Chaos Shrine. And that's kind of the reason why in the NES version it's called the Temple of the Fiends. And lo and behold, who is guarding the stairs down to the next floor but a familiar yellow ball. And I'm not even going to bother healing up. There we go. So we've got the Lich. We got to face off against the Lich again. Now he was stronger. He's stronger than he was when we first faced him. And because this is, again, is 2,000 years in the past. And in the future we'd already defeated him. At least that's my interpretation. So he's stronger now, and he doesn't have weakness to fire. I think he's still weak to undead, to Diara, because he's undead, but he's not weak against fire anymore. So instead, we're going to do Giant's Gloves, Haste. We are going to do a... let's do a Patera, and we will do a Haste on you as well. So yeah, with the Lich being here, you can assume that we're going to have to face the rest of the fiends again as well. And just like the Lich, they are stronger, they are more powerful, but they also lack, any elemental weaknesses they might have had in the past. Now, granted, Marilith doesn't have any elemental weaknesses, but she was susceptible to silence. That is no longer the case. The Kraken is no longer susceptible to thunder, and Tiamat already had no elemental weaknesses to begin with. Now, they aren't actually that much more powerful than each other, though, which is actually a really interesting tidbit. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to do... No, up, 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 up. I wanted to use the white robe to cast Invisora. And you can now cast... Yeah, we've got plenty of ethers and stuff. We'll go ahead and cast Flare. So yeah, keep in mind that, again, they're more powerful. They don't have their weaknesses and so on. Because what I think happens is after you defeat them here, they slink off to their respective crystals to recover. And in that time, they slowly start developing weaknesses. You know, the Lich develops a weakness to fire. The Kraken develops a weakness to lightning. And so on. And the reason why Marilith didn't develop a weakness to ice is because she woke up 200 years earlier than she was supposed to. And the reason why Tiamat doesn't have elemental weaknesses is because, well, for one thing, there's no real counter to wind magic, you know, to a wind element in this game, other than maybe the Quake spell, which isn't going to work against a monster that can fly, for obvious reasons. We'll put it on auto now and continue talking. But, yeah, oh, shit, so he can do flare. That is not good. We'll take it back off auto. So I think the reason why she doesn't have any elemental weaknesses is, you know, because she's already been, you know, awake for 400 years, so she's kind of lost whatever weaknesses she may have developed in the 1600 years she spent asleep. You know, and that's also why she's probably the most powerful one, because she's been awake for longer than everybody else. Anyways, that's my interpretation. That's not strictly speaking what the game says, but we'll hold that off for a little bit longer. So here, you can see Marilith right where we need to go. We can circle around. Not that way. Got the preemptive strikes here. So we're going to deal with a whole bunch of fire monsters here who are weak to ice magic. And we're going to go ahead and use our black robe on this floor to get some Blizzara spells going. Because it should be enough to wipe away pretty much any opposition we come across. Until we get to Marilith herself. And there's some loot on this floor too. You gotta circle around here though. Alright, this Blizzara should take him out. Good, good, good. Alright, now we could just go straight to Marilith, but instead, after we deal with these red dragons, we're going to continue south, because remember, off the beaten path is where all the loot is. Now, this game rewards exploration. Okay, actually, first, we're going to go ahead and heal up real quick. And then go down here. Okay, so we got our second Protect Cloak. That is for Jill, who now has the best equipment she can have in the game. Ugh. And there we go. There's some loot over here as well. There we go. We get an elixir for our trouble. Got a red dragon, or pair of them, rather. Alrighty. And back over here. There is more loot on the other side, too. This floor has 4 treasure chest to open. So we gotta go after dealing with all these freaking fire elementals. There we go. Alright, we gotta go over here. And here I think we get the protect ring. I could be wrong. Nope, yeah, I was correct. This is the protect ring. Alright, which we will check out. So yeah, same stats as the diamond gloves. So now Candle has the best equipment he can have in the game. Because there is no, as I'm assuming still, there is no 4th ribbon. You know, there's still a couple more chests we have to open. We actually still need to get a 3rd ribbon first. But I'm assuming there's no 4th ribbon. Oh, shit. I completely forgot something. Candle does not have the best equipment he can get. Oh, shit. I cannot believe I forgot that. Okay, we're going to get the rest of the loot on this floor. And then we're going to leave. Because I completely forgot in my preparations. We have that adamantite. There's somebody who needs it. Oh my god. I cannot believe I forgot that. I cannot believe I forgot that. That's always one of my stops after leaving the Flying Fortress. Oh my god, I can't... No, we have to go back. We have to leave. We have to leave. It's like I could push forward and beat the game without it, but... What's the point in that? No. We have to push forward. We have to leave. As soon as we get this treasure chest. Oh my god, I cannot believe I did that. So we got another Sasuke's Blade. Alright, magic. Jill, go ahead and use exit, which is, you know, the best way out of here. We need to go to the dwarves. Oh my god, I cannot believe I did that. Alright. Because the smith here, you know, Smith needs some adamantite. Is this adamantite? Hoots, I'll use this to make you the finest sword you ever wield. This is the last remaining side quest of the game, too. Done. In all my years, I've never crafted a finer sword. Go on, take her. She's yours. There we go. So we got Excalibur, which is arguably the best weapon in the game. Although there's really only one dungeon left to use it for. The only people who can equip it are knights. So now, by switching out the Sunblade and giving you the Sunblade instead, Candle has the best equipment he can get. There is technically a weapon that is more powerful than the Excalibur, but it can be equipped by just about anybody. And the Excalibur can only be equipped by knights, so we're going to hold on to it for Jack. So with that done, now we can go back to the shrine here. And walk back through the portal. Dealing with these guys. And go back 2,000 years into the past. Now, to save you guys the trouble, I am going to edit out my run back to Marilith. So I'll see you guys there. Alright, I've made it back to Marilith's floor, and it wasn't as rough as I was thinking it was going to be. So, back when this game used the original encounter point system, anytime you left the dungeon after dealing with one or more of the fiends, you would have to fight them again whenever you came back, because they were tied to encounter point tiles. But now, you know, I just got past the Lich's floor without having to fight him again. He's gone. He's done. Which is good to know. But now, we're almost back to Marilith herself. Oh, and we can continue onward. I still can't believe I did that. I still can't believe I did that. Yeah, we may have gotten a couple level ups in the interim. I always go back to the dwarves to get Excalibur before coming to the Chaos Shrine. But I completely forgot this time. I don't know why. Anyways, either way, let's go ahead and heal real quick. And I'm going to quick save, just to be safe. And on we go. Now I have to face Marilith again. No. Yeah, good strategy is Giant's Gloves, Haste. Null Blaze would be good if you could use it. But I'm not entirely sure you can. So let's try Protera. And have you do haste on Jack. There we go. Do a full round of preparations before we go on the offensive. Oh, that was a big hit. Okay, you are going to go ahead and use that Giant's Glove. You, let's heal Jack. And then you just go straight up. Yeah, straight hog on the flares. Alrighty. I think we can do the same, well, not quite the same thing, but almost the same thing for the next round. Ooh, damn, almost 1,000 damage. I think I might max out at 999, I'm not sure. No, you can go straight up attack. You, let's go ahead and do that white rope now. And you, again, flare. Oh, no, it does not max out at 999. Almost 1,500 damage that round. And she is already down for the count. Again, she is stronger. She is more powerful than when we first fought her in Mount Golg. But so are we. So, there's that. Alright, in this case, let's go ahead, heal up. And then let's go ahead and use some of these ethers to max everybody out. There we go. Restore everybody's magic. We've got plenty. Why not use them? All right. So now we are on the Kraken's floor. This floor is a little bit confusing. It'll make more sense when we do this. So you kind of want to stick to the left here, going in and out of these rooms until you get down here. Then back up to the central chamber and down through the very center one. Now you could go to the right as well, but you'll end up walking around this floor more because it's off to the right. All right, in this case, you know what? We are going to do Thundara just to get things moving pretty quickly. There we go. Because we don't really need these second level elemental spells for the boss fights. Not when we can, restore our magic like nothing. So that will help us breeze through these fights real quick to get to the Kraken himself. Got White Sharks and Sahagin Princes. Another Thundara. Should do it. Alrighty. So down through here. Deal with these guys. Single round of combat should be enough. There we go. And up and down here. Oh, we're getting close. We're almost ready to take on the Kraken. There we go. And lo and behold, there's his orb, his shell. Yeah, another reason why I don't really think this is a time loop is because typically you're shown the loop repeating at least once before ending it. And here, you don't see the loop ever repeat. You stop it before it ever actually repeats. So it's just yet more proof that, you know, if the developers really did want this to be a time loop, they didn't really understand what they were doing. Anyways, let's go back to our regular boss fight strategy here. There we go. Magic, let's do Patera. Let's do Haste. Ink, not really anything worth worrying about. Alright, so the round of preparations is done. Just about. And the next round we start going on the offensive while finishing our preparations. Alright, attack. No, not attack. Giant's gloves. Okay, white robe. And you can go straight for the flare. Alright, 700 damage off of 16 hits. Maybe the darkness actually did do something a little bit there. $443. Alright, attack. Attack. You are going to actually use eye drops for once on Candle. And then you are going to stick with the flare. Although maybe he doesn't actually need them. I don't know. There we go. Alright. You let us do a Null Frost. I don't think it's going to do anything, but we'll try it anyways. Or not. Because the Kraken is defeated. Again. Or is this for the first time? There's time travel at play, so you don't know. Yeah, I really don't think this is a time loop story. I really do think it's just a time travel story. You know, with an intended loop, that just doesn't quite work out. So either way, we are now on Tiamat's floor, and we want to go down and around to get to the actual loot in this dungeon. All right, attack, attack. Items, we'll have you do the healing staff, and you go back to using the razor again. That's the best way to get through these fights. So yeah, it's definitely the villain's plan to start a time loop, but we stop him before he ever, you know, succeeds in creating it. So, you know, is it really ever a time loop in the first place if that's what happens? I don't know. Anyways, we have 2 chests here. I think at least 1. Possibly 2 chests on this floor. Including the best weapon in the game. The most well, not necessarily the best, but the most powerful weapon in the game. It should be down this way. Maybe there really is only 1 chest. I don't remember. We'll take a look in a second. At the least, I know there's one in here. Yeah, the Masamune. The Masamune or the Masamune. So, if we take a look, you know, a legendary katana without match, it is more powerful than the Excalibur, which makes sense, because this is a game made by Japanese developers, and Masamune was a legendary swordsmith in Japan, so, you know, a lot of Japanese games include the Masamune as like the best weapon. Whereas Excalibur was King Arthur's sword in Arthurian legend from England and so on. So we'll go ahead and give that to Jack. And that may be it. Yeah, that's it. So that was the last treasure chest. We've gotten all the treasure chests in the game. If you're playing along and had not gotten that trophy yet, it should have just popped for you. The reason why it didn't for me is because I already have it. And again, I will show you at the end of this game, you know, my platinum and all the trophies and everything. Alrighty. We're almost there, though. We're getting close. We got one last fiend to defeat here in the past, and then it's on to face off against the final boss and figure out who exactly has been orchestrating all of this and why. We've got to get back up to that starting room, basically, and go east from there. Because you can't just go straight north from here, unfortunately. It would be nice if you could. Be a nice little shortcut. But yeah, this is cut off there. You got to circle back around and go east to get to where we need to go. Come on, air elementals. Alright, no trouble at all. Now, you might think I would just turn off encounters because it wouldn't stop the bosses because none of these fights are like an issue at all anymore. But I still want that extra experience. I don't care so much about the guild, but I want the extra experience so we can get level ups so that we can, you know, not have as hard of a time on these last few bosses, plus when we go to face WarMech. But now we get to face off against Tiamat. Alright, I keep forgetting to change that. Alright, Giant's Gloves. Haste. Patera. And Haste. Okay, Blaze is no trouble. Or not much trouble. I want to have Jill heal on the next turn. Alright. Attack. You use the Giant's Gloves. You give us a Healaga. And then you can just straight off go off with the flares. Yeah, Blizzara. Not too much of an issue. Alright, good, good, good. Alright, you've got those Giant's Gloves going. There we go. Healaga tops us up. You attack. You use that white robe, and then you continue with the flare. Poison gas. Uh-oh. We're good. Yeah, now see, Jack, thanks to the Masamune, is hitting almost as hard as Candle. Sometimes even harder. Yeah, it's that equaling force of the Masamune. Alright, let's do a Healara and another Flare. Yeah, notice how much stronger Tiamat is this time compared to the last time we fought her. I mean, she still goes down fairly easily, but she's way stronger than she was in the future. And given what happens here on the last floor of the dungeon, I don't think that what the game is intending is what is actually happening. So, interesting fact, on the NES version, due to Nintendo's censorship, they took out the 2 of the, or 3 of the points of the 6-sided star here to turn it into just a triangle. All right, attack. Just do straight up attacks here. There we go. Now, before we step through that door, let us heal fully, including ethers. There we go. Everybody's all maxed out. We're going to quick save. And then let's see who's behind all this. Well, he's familiar. Do you remember me? I was once the most renowned knight of Cornelia. Yes, it is indeed Garland. 2,000 years from now, you killed me. I am Garland. Oh, you did defeat me then. But the 4 great forces saved me by sending me back through time. Once here, I sent the 4 fiends into the future, where they shall once again use the 4 great forces to send me into the past. In 2,000 years, I will remember none of this. And so he transforms. But I will be reborn again here, and even as you die again and again, I shall return, born again into this endless cycle that I have created. So, I don't think it's really working the way he intends. For one thing, he says he already sent the fiends into the future, into the present, but we had to face them to get to him. We had to defeat them to get to him. Now, I suppose it's possible that after we defeated them, he sent them into the future, and that's, into the various points in the future, and that's why they're less powerful then. But honestly, I like my interpretation better, where we defeat them in the past, they slink off to the various elemental places to recover, and slowly awaken from there. And furthermore, it implies that Garland is already immortal, that he was born 2,000 years in the past, lived through to the present, and then was defeated there, at which point the fiends pulled him back so that he could, continue living and so on. So, or, he just starts out in the present, gets pulled to the past, lives out that 2,000 years, and gets pulled to the past again, and so on. And that might be the time loop that they intend. But if that's the case, like, what happens? I mean, Garland says that he, in 2,000 years, will remember none of this, but he becomes chaos here in the past. So what happens that, Garland is no longer chaos and doesn't remember what happened 2,000 years ago? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense as a time loop. So instead, what I think actually happens is that when you defeat chaos and so-called break the so-called time loop, it's just that Garland is born 2,000, almost 2,000 years into the future, becomes a peerless swordsman, kidnaps Princess Sarah, is defeated at the hands of the warriors, and drawn to the past by the fiends of the past to try to protect themselves, knowing the prophecy and everything, and so on. It's a confusing mess. I just don't think it fully makes sense as described. But either way, we have the final boss here, so let's just go ahead and start fighting him. Let's do Protera. Let's do a haste. So this guy shouldn't be too much trouble right now, although he does know Kiraja, which will heal him back up to full. So you got to try to take him out quickly if you can, because he uses it kind of randomly. Alright, so you are good. Let's do a... No, you already got a haste on you. Let's do Giant's Gloves. Let's do a Healer to be on the safe side. And you can just start popping off flares. Good, Slow Ra missed. He's got, I want to say, like 20,000 HP, or at least he did in the NES version. I'm not entirely sure in this version. It's probably more, because it's a so-called easier version. You know, they probably gave him more to balance it out. But we will keep going. No, I want you to use that Invisorod now. And you, again, keep going with those flares. Keep popping them off till you can't do it anymore. Or he dies, whichever comes first. There we go. Alright, we've got enough health still that... Jill, I'm going to have you pop off some holies. There we go. Okay, no, we're good. So as long as he doesn't use Kiraja, we're good. You know, it might take a few rounds, but as long as he doesn't use Kiraja, we're good. Alright, Holy. Flare. Good, almost 1,000 hit. Alright, I'm going to need Jill to heal the next turn. Perhaps use a Healaga. Alright, yeah, let's use a Healaga. And Flare. And we do still have those... Oh, shit. I was going to say, we do still have those elixirs. So that would be good. And I would laugh if this is the one that kills Chaos before I can get Jack back up. Alright, let's use a full life. And... we're keeping on the attack. I'm hoping Jill can get that full life off before... Okay, good. Before Chaos goes down. Good, okay. Alright, so Jack is good, although he doesn't have Protect or Invisora or any of his other stuff. So we'll go ahead and use the Giant's Gloves on you. We'll do a Protect. And we will do Haste. And then the next round we'll get Jill to do an Invisa on him if we can. Actually, I might need her to heal instead, because Candle is not looking great. Alright, you to attack. You, let's do a Kiraga on Candle, and then back to a Flare. Alright, we're good. Alright, thankfully he hasn't used Kiraja yet. Alright, with that, you can attack. You can use Invis now, and you can use your last Flare. Ooh, that was a big hit. Big hit there, too. Alright. Attack, attack. You use another Kiraga on Candle. And you are all out of level 8 spells. So now it's time for level 7. Your Blizzard. Oh, shit. Carl just went down. Well, that's not good. Alright, attack. Magic. Let's do a full life on Carl. And I swear, if Jack takes out Chaos... Okay, there we go. Alright, yeah, have you attack. You, let's do an elixir on... No. Let's do an X potion on Candle. And you are going to use an elixir on yourself. No! Damn it! Oh, Jack got the X potion instead. Alright, attack. Full life again. And you... Let's go ahead, cast Haste Try it on Candle. It'll get shifted to Jack if the full life doesn't go off first. Which, of course, it doesn't. Damn it. Oh, no, it got shifted to Jill. Not that she really needs it. All right, Candle's back up. All right, let's get that Saber again. And you're going to attack, and you are going to do a Hilaga on the party. And you are going to do a haste on Candle. That way Candle's ready to go the next round. Ah, shit. Chaos just hasted himself. That means he's going to hit even harder now. That's not good. Alright, attack, attack. You, let's do a Patera. And you, I have... Stop. Do I have... I don't have Slow Rod, do I? Damn. Okay, okay, fine. You'll just do Flare. Ugh. Okay, we're okay. We made it, though. Made it through that round. And there we go. That's it. That's the end of Chaos. Jack lands the final blow on Chaos. Oh, that is hilarious. Ugh. So, for those of you that don't know, Garland's first name, at least according to Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, Garland's first name is Jack. So that is kind of hilarious that Jack lands the final blow. And we get the ending text crawl here, which is, again, is like way slower than it needs to be. It really should be like double the speed, because I can read it out loud pretty fast, and I can read it silently a lot faster. Anyways, the time loop was severed at last, or so it would seem. The endless struggle that raged over 2,000 years had ended, and peace prevailed once more. Yes, that at least I do believe. The light of the four crystals restored the forces of wind, water, earth, and fire. Yes, that I believe as well. It's just the time loop bit that doesn't fully make sense to me. It was a mere trick of fate that had given rise to the chain of Garland's wrath. Now, what would they have to do to actually make me believe in the time loop? I'll tell you in a second, but I want to get through the rest of the sending text scroll first. But magnified by the four forces meant to guide our world, that trick of fate also gave birth to the fiends. Monsters had run rampant as the world sank into darkness. But all that is now past. With the four forces flowing as they were meant, the warriors prepared to cross time and return to the world they knew. A world where Princess Sarah, Queen Jane, and even Garland himself await. And see, that's part of the reason why I don't think this time loop is going to end, because Garland's still waiting in the present. You know, what's to stop him from kidnapping the princess again? When was this fateful day that sent time spiraling into a loop? None can say. I can say there's various points at which it could have started, and nothing that we do in the game stops any of those points from happening. It seemed the crystal into which time had fallen would last forever, or the cycle into which time had fallen would last forever. But the bravery of four young travelers changed that. They took the forces that filled the world with darkness and used them to bathe the world in light. None will ever recall the struggle the four endured, for the breaking of the chain means that it never existed. Which means there's also nothing stopping it from forming again in the first place, you know. But within the tales of fantasy that people tell, the memory of the deeds live on. Yeah, the memory of the deeds lives on. Tales of dwarves and elves, of dragons and shining civilizations that reached for the heavens even as they fell. And now their return is upon us. With the memory of their struggle buried deep in their hearts, they will quietly watch over our world. Remember always that the forces of the world must be used as they were intended. That the power of light must never be used for dark, and that the true crystals reside in your heart. Aw, at least it ends with a nice message. For you are the warrior who crossed time. Again, though, it'd be nice if this sped up a little bit faster. You are the bringer of light. I think that's it. So, game's over. I enjoyed it. I do love this game as much as I gripe about the way the story ends. I do love this game. But what would it take to actually make this a working time loop story? I don't think it would actually take that much. And in fact, Stranger of Paradise actually already kind of does it. So again, the big thing about time loops is typically in time loop stories, you see the loop complete at least once before going back and trying to figure out what caused it and try to stop it and break it and stuff like that. So the way to fix this story, I think, doesn't actually change that much. All you really have to do is start it in medias res with the Warriors of Light facing off against Chaos 2,000 years in the past. They fail, and then you flash 2,000 years to the future, and they arrive outside of Cornelia and get to start the adventure over and stuff like that. That is really all I think it would take to fix this story, honestly. I mean, there's other things you can do, more things you can do to fix it, but that would solve the most glaring issue. Anyways, we get to see the credits roll here. Unfortunately, you don't see any of the credits for the original game, just for the remaster. However, a number of these people did work on the original, like Kenji Terada, Kazuka Shibuya. She was the original sprite artist for the game, for both characters and monsters, though the monster designs were done by Yoshitaka Amano. She was the one responsible for bringing his illustrations to life in the digital form, and she didn't really get recognition for it for a long time, unfortunately. But anyways, that is it. I will let the credits roll out, and afterwards we will go back and face WarMech, and I will show you guys my trophies. So until then, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, finally. I do not want to tell you how long that took. That took way too fucking long to make him show up. Oh my god. Anyways, as you can see, we got quite a number of levels in that point, including Candle went up to the max HP possible in the game. Jack actually caught up to and surpassed Carl, and we can finally take on WarMech. Oh my god. Okay. So Giant's Gloves, Haste. Let's do a Protera, and let's do another Haste. And that is why you don't want a low-level party, because WarMech knows nuke and can literally wipe your party with a single hit if you're not careful. Oh my god. So, for those of you who don't know, WarMech is the game's kind of optional super boss. It is a regular enemy encountered in like regular random battles on the last floor of the Flying Fortress. But it has a really low chance to spawn. Like literally a 1 in 64, you know, a 1/64th chance to spawn. I'm not sure how much that is in percentage, but it is low. All right, let's go ahead and do Giant's Gloves. Let's do a Hilaga, and you can now just do Flare. All right. So I think we'll be okay taking him on this late in the game. But it just took forever to make him spawn. Like, literally, I sat here grinding through battles for over an hour. And and at this point, like, he's gone on, like, the second round. That's it. That's literally it. Oh, my God. So, yeah, if we take a look here, we're at level 59 now. All right, I want to use exit to get out of here. Because we're going to save. There you go. Go ahead and save over that. And now I want to show you guys my trophies for this game. All right, so trophies, yada, yada, yada. It's all the way down here somewhere. There we go. So yeah, you can see I've gotten all the platinums for the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. So for trophies like Hero's Journey, you know, these are the different ones for the story. You know, getting the side quests to unlock the class change, obtain Excalibur, play the 15 puzzle game, reach level 50 for all the characters, you know, defeat a certain number of monsters, get a certain amount of gil. I was going to say gold. Get to all the treasure chests, go to all map locations. So it's not a very hard game to platinum. But yeah, so that is it. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe.